Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the transatlantic. This is a part number Ed-Lhl580 Us10B is what this is. This is a piece of exit device lever trim, or trim for an exit device. Very typical, very common in terms of its construction and its design, its installation, the preparation it takes in the door. Obviously, this is a dark bronze finish. They call it US10B. This is certainly not a true US10B, but it is absolutely complementary to it. It's a dark, very dark bronze type finish. It would certainly complement anything 10B type. For oil rub bronze, you need a bronze base material, a solid bronze base material. This, of course, is not that, but is, again, complementary. The finish disclaimer aside, this is also a storeroom function. What that means is the lever trim is always locked, or pardon me, it's always rigid. Okay, this will always be in a rigid sort of condition. When you insert the key and you rotate it, either way, it will go 90 degrees in either direction. As you do that, it rotates the tailpiece. You can never leave this unlocked. Every time you pull the key out, it's still locked. And you need to have the key in the door to retract the latch of the exit device. That is what this storeroom function operates like. Very nice quality lever trim. Transatlantic's going to have this available in passage function, obviously always unlocked. They'll have it available in what's called an entrance function, but it's more like a classroom function, meaning that the lever's locked, and you insert the key, and you can unlock the lever and get in and take your key back out and leave it locked. Or you can insert the key, generally turn it 360 degrees and pull the key out, and then the lever's always operable and always allowing you to retract the latch bolt by just the action of the lever itself. The application for, well, a passage would be if you have an interior door and it's a path of emergency exit, like a fire-rated door, a door to an emergency exit. That path would need to comply with that. Number two, that classroom function would be appropriate for, let's say you have an auto shop and you're going to unlock the door where the clients come in to pick up their vehicle after service. Well, the owner will come into work in the morning. He'll want to have that locked and then unlocked, of course, operating all the time until the end of the day. And then, of course, the storeroom is a door that should always be locked and never be able to be left unlocked, meaning an application would be an employee entrance door where there is a card reader and electric strike. And that card reader action of the electric strike is writing an audit trail back to maybe time in, time out sort of software, whatever. That you would never want to have unlocked would be my opinion. So, available obviously in satin chrome as well. This is the less common oil rubbed, as I mentioned earlier. Satin chrome is, of course, the standard. This is an exterior trim for a rim panic device, storeroom function, key-in lever design, what they call deluxe heavy-duty construction, and indeed it is. It's a very good quality item, weighs well over 2 pounds. Rigid lever, operated by a key only. Lever is equipped with a unique patented feature which makes these locks usable with handed and non-handed trim as a result of the exit device being activated by the tailpiece. So you could use it this way, you could use it this way. The fact that the key will operate or retract going either way, allows it to be non-handed so that you can rotate the key any way that you like from either side. Spindle latch mechanism makes the removal of the cylinder easier and more efficient. Now what that means, now that reference to the cylinder removal is if you have no need or desire or training to remove the cylinder, therefore the lever, and do a rekeying operation, none of that really applies. But the bottom line is this design is fairly comfortable in order to remove and rekey and they're just calling out the fact that it is so. Okay, not a big deal. This is a Schlage C keyway. That's a 6-pin with an original look-alike head on the key blank, and that this can be ordered in different keyways, because what they'll end up doing most likely is selling an additional cylinder that you can do in a Corbin 60 or a Russwin D1 keyway. So it's a small incremental add. If you needed it in one of those other 2 available keyways, that can be accommodated along with a Lori 6-pin type of keyway as well. Conforms to ADA compliant handicap code. That is true, because it is compliant in both the length of the lever and the amount of return back to the face of the door. There is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions, or just Instructions, and that's very handy because it allows you to preview what you're going to encounter prior to ordering the material. What it basically gives you is plenty of information about how to go about installing it. The short version of that is simply this. This is going to include the plate. This is going to include 2 screws that are already buried into the posts, the female threaded posts here. You'll remove those. This is going to go through your 2 1/8 inch hole in the door at a typical 2 3/4 back set, which what we would call a 161 prep. So if you had a stock hollow metal door with a 161 or a typical 2 1/8 inch hole at 2 3/4 back set, this is ready to go when used in conjunction with the standard 500 series exit device from Transatlantic. So the plate goes through the inside, the 2 screws come out and through the holes as required, which would be here and here. Okay. There are also going to be these there are 2 pins that you see here and here. You can thread those into here. Remove these screws and thread those in. Now that's a good idea. You have to alter your preparation, put a hole at 12 and 6 per the template that's not only included but linked to as well below this video. There is so much rotational pressure that can be applied to a lever. Certainly when it's fixed like this as well, it can really have a tendency to turn that. With those pins at 12 and 6, that will hit metal and resist that otherwise, terrible sort of strain to put on the hardware. I would absolutely recommend and even tell you, don't install this unless you're going to install it properly with those pins, because what will happen is you'll get that rotated and it might just be askew 3 degrees. Well, over time it's going to damage the tailpiece. Over time what will happen is the latch bolt will not be retracted all the way in the exit device. It'll fatigue that metal. Eventually it will likely no longer work properly. If your margin is already too tight between the latch bolt and the strike, you might find that you can't get in because the tailpiece can't turn it far enough to get full retraction of the latch bolt to clear the strike. So lots of things can happen when you don't have those pins, so install them. The template is there. Now, the balance of the installation instructions get into beyond what we just discussed about the pins, get into a way to hand the unit, should that be necessary, but it is not necessary to hand the unit with a storeroom because it's already rigid. You could have a condition by which when you rotated the lever in the down operation and it could not go in the up operation or in the up direction, that would only work for one hand of door. Well, Transatlantic has a model or has a provision by which on entrance functions you can make it so the lever only goes in the down direction, and you can change that depending on the left-hand reverse or right-hand reverse active swing of the door. So that's something else that's covered in the installation instructions. And then also they even give instructions as to how to hack this piece of hardware should you need to literally bend this tailpiece to make it compatible with an unknown manufacturer's exit device. Meaning, when you rotate this tailpiece, okay, you can see it doesn't go to 90 degrees. it goes to maybe 60 degree. That may be insufficient to get your latch bolt retracted, and they're literally telling you to bend it clockwise or counterclockwise that additional 20 degrees, and that's listed down here as well. Okay. I am partial to Transatlantic. I am partial to them for the reason that they have a very good quality product, a very reasonable price. I have the amount of time I've sold their product as a distributor is measured in decades. Their exit devices, their lock sets, their door closers, sometimes even their hinges, are fantastic items for a typical subcontractor to use in a typical tenant build-out. You might have a chain coffee shop, and you need, hardware for the bathroom doors. Transatlantic fits that perfectly. It's decent quality material that will take a good volume of use, even though it's generally all grade 2, but they have, of course, a full offering of grade 1, meaning a million life cycle. And they do it in such a budget-friendly sort of way that makes the distributor happy because he can make a markup, the contractor happy because he can make a markup, the developer, the end user, the client is happy because he gets a good quality product and might even save some money. So it's a win-win for everybody. And in my personal experience, I do not have a measurable failure rate on Transatlantic products. Finally, there's a link below this video to to their manufacturer's page, where you can pull up the full line catalog and review all things Transatlantic related, not only the catalog, but also their website, a link to their website should you want to check them out as a company. If you have any questions on the Transatlantic, this is their part number Lhl580 in a US10B finish, or any other Transatlantic product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.